Hey everybody, my name is Elvis, and you're watching Joan of Our House, and I am incredibly late. So I had just shot the 200th movie for Sunny, and this is the video after Sunny. Oh. From the day of recording this, it is August 8th. I was supposed to do this video nearly 3 weeks ago. That's fine, it's fine. After watching Sunny, the next movie that I saw was The Secret Nim. Right before your eyes and beyond your wildest dreams, a widow-filled mouse must move her family, including an ailing son, to escape a farmer's plow. Aided by a crow and a pack of super intelligent escaped lab rats, the brave mother struggles to transplant her home to firmer ground. I think I remember seeing the cover art of this or just seeing something about this movie, but I've never seen this movie before. So in the middle of watching this, I kept thinking of Nicole and how much I think she would really like this movie, to the point where like I stopped in the middle of it and debated just kind of telling her like, come over, we have to watch this movie. I know this is a movie that you liked. And I asked her about it. She's like, no, I've already seen it, it's alright. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll continue watching this. Dog, this movie is magical. You know that kind of like 80s like twinkle vibe that this movie has, or a bunch of other like whimsical movies. Think of like oh damn, what's that movie called? It's got that little boy in the library played by Macaulay Culkin, and he dives into that book. And I'm talking about a whole different movie. The fantasy aspect of this movie is so nice. There's like a childhood sense of whimsy and comfort to this movie that I just really liked. With this being made, I think on 1980, maybe earlier, it doesn't have like all the kind of like technical abilities that you think about when you're watching another movie, such as like when you put your hands on something. That has a noise. It doesn't have a lot of Foley noise, is what I'm trying to say. Which doesn't necessarily take me out, but it's something that I notice. One of my favorite scenes, and maybe if you've seen this might be your favorite scene as well. When Mrs. Jefferson, wow, what's her last name? Mrs. Brisby. Her husband's name is Jonathan Brisby, and everybody refers to her as Mrs. Jonathan Brisby. Like, dang, she's got a name. I should know that name too. Anywho, she has to meet the owl in this hugely massive owl is like hidden. You saw him, but you didn't see him. And there's this huge spider, and like actually the way the spider moves is like so good. Like when I think about a spider in a cartoon, I just think about it going, you know. This spider actually like thought about all the ligaments that it's moving. Oh my god. And then there's like, yeah, that was probably my favorite scene, only because it's animated so beautifully, but it takes account of lighting and what's blocking that lighting. So when that owl finally like reveals himself and moves and blocks light, it casts a shadow that they drew, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Yeah, this movie was really good. The next movie that I saw was Time Crimes, Los Cronocrímenes. A trip back in time from the present to a man accidentally gets into a time machine and travels back in time nearly an hour. Finding himself will be the first of a series of disasters of unforeseeable consequences. I saw this movie like on my list for a while on Tubi. So is The Secret of Nim. I saw these movies on Tubi. Thank you, Tubi. And all I can think about was this review for The Dark Knight. And it's like, of course, this movie is a great movie. You only had to perfect half of a script and repeat it. And I kept thinking about that review while watching this movie. Like, yeah, no wonder this is good. You only had to write half a script and perfect it, then mirror it, and then again, and then again. And it's like, okay, you only really had to think about a short story very well, and then flip it, and then flip it, and then flip those. It was insane. This movie doesn't try to hide any of the spoilers from you, but the ending still got me, and I was like, oh my god. And then it reverses that twist and then does it again, and you're still shocked, and you're like, oh my god, what was that about? This movie was really fun. There's only 3 or 4 characters: the husband, the wife, the stranger, and the scientist. Yeah, like four people. Yeah, this movie pretty good, especially with that like twist, reverse, then twist again. Yeah, this is a really good one. The next movie that I saw was All Star Superman. The measure of a man lies not in what he says, but what he does. Lex Luthor enacts his plan to rid of the world of Superman once and for all. Succeeding with solar radiation poisoning, the Man of Steel is slowly dying. With what little time remains, the last son of Krypton must confront the revealing of his secret identity to Lois Lane and face Luthor in a final battle. So after watching Superman 2025, I kind of wanted more, and especially after watching The Man of Steel, I needed kind of like maybe some more solidification that Superman, I needed a basis on what Superman is and who he is, and this is probably the closest that I can get to, and this kind of something that I wrote. One of the first comics that made me tear up when I read it as a kid. After watching Superman, I was having a conversation with Lele about the difference between Man of Steel and Superman in general. Superman is supposed to be the best of us. He is perfection, and he doesn't have to think to save us. He doesn't have to think that he loves us. Superman does everything out of love and admiration of everyone and everything around him. All-Star Superman shows that he is fearful not of his future, but the future people of Earth. He defeats some of his last villains and tries to say goodbye to his home by securing the future of his loved ones for generations. The fact that the last shot in this movie is the painted one from the last panel of the comic just goes to show how perfect the last page was to the comic. Superman is a very selfless person, and you can see it by the way he is not afraid for himself, but afraid for everybody around him. And even when he tells Lois Lane that he's dying, this isn't a spoiler, it's in the thing, that he's dying, it's like the only time that he's sad. But then again, it's not like sadness because I'm dying, it's sadness because I'm not going to be here with you. I won't be able to save you or anybody in the earth. And I think the ending with Lex Luthor kind of really shows the immense power and responsibility that Superman had, and what that means for Lex Luthor. Yeah, this is a really good movie. If you did like Superman 2025, please read All-Star. Please read I can't think of any other comics right now, but yeah, or watch the movie. It's good. This one's gonna be fun. The next movie that I saw was Petey Wheatstraw, The Devil's Son-in-Law. Have no fear, it's the comedy smash of the year. Petey Wheatstraw is a candidate to become the devil's son-in-law. The storyline is scaffolding on which Rudy Ray Moore's stand-up humor can be unfolded. Beginning life as an afterbirth to a watermelon, the young Wheatstraw becomes a martial artist but is unable to beat the evil comedy team of Leroy and Skillet, who also indulge in wholesale murder. Satan restores the comedian's victims to life and changes Petey with the task of marrying his clock-stopping, ugly daughter to give him a grandchild. When Petey attempts to default on the deal, he is pursued by the devil's henchmen. Alright, so this was made in 1977. Here, come here. Look at that. Look at that crazy ass, I don't know, cover to this. This movie is Cal. If you're watching this, you're the one that suggested I watch this. And it is very funny in the worst way. It's a product from 1977. This was so much fun to watch. It was so funny. Some of the most ridiculous things about this movie were the fighting scenes and like the ad libs that they would do in the fighting scenes. Like think about Western martial arts or like Chinese martial arts at the time. It was all about that Bruce Lee wah and wah, you know. So imagine freestyling whatever that was, and it was everybody fighting, and Petey was just like, I shit you not, it sounded exactly like that. If I can pull up a clip, I will. But oh my god, this movie was insane. All right, so this is how it starts. This is fucked. So we're in a shed or in a house, and this mother's about to give birth. She has this huge belly. She's in bed. She's doing an in-home birth, and the dad shows up with the doctor, and the doctor goes under the table or under the cloth to help give birth, and a whole ass watermelon comes out. Okay. And he's like, okay, this is not what I meant to pull. Goes back in. A full grown ass kid comes out. 10 years old, man. Comes out with diaper already. Beats the hell out of the doctor for spanking him. And then the dad is like, what the hell are you doing, son? And tries to beat on the son. Like, you don't treat people like that. And then Petey is a baby. He's like, don't talk to me like that, and beats up his own dad. And then the mom has to come in after just giving birth, like, boy, if you don't, And then Petey Wheatstraw's like, dang, you right, mama. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. And then I think about all of this happening with like a 70s jazz, like, it's insane. Everybody in this movie looks like somebody now. Like the dude, Rudy Ray Moore, looks nearly exactly like Jonathan Majors. There's this Chadwick Boseman looking ass dude. Bill Burr looking ass dude is in this movie. There's a few more people who look like people, like actors now. Like I thought I was watching something made now-ish, dude, a whole generation ago. The next movie that I saw was Final Destination. I saw this with Nicole, my baby. Hey! This movie is... So we had talked about how we had never seen any of the Final Destination movies. And maybe I just forgot. Final Destination. No accidents, no coincidences, no escapes. You can't cheat death. after a teenager has a terrifying vision of him and his friends dying in a plane crash. He prevents the accident only to have death hunt them down one by one. This is one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. Like the shock factor in all the deaths still feels surprising and just isn't over the top gory. If it wasn't for the John Denver, the other music was horrible. You know how you're tired of doing the same thing so specific, like make a piece of paper land on you that just, all right. Well, I'm just reading my own review. I guess what I was trying to say in there. Do you know those like dude perfect videos where they kind of like try to do something so incredibly specific, so incredibly accurate, kind of like everything freezes around you? Imagine taking a picture of that and calling that cinematic. That's kind of exactly what they were doing in this movie. There were shots in this movie where they were like, we need this one piece of paper to land on your lap. The guy like pulls up and it's his friend's name. That I know that shot took more than 10 times to make because they were so incredibly still. Like, I don't want to fuck up this shot for like the 10th, 15th, or 20th time. So for them to kind of just repeat the same like shot, I don't know. I just noticed that composition. Everybody dying in this movie was kind of funny. I don't want to talk about any spoilers or anything like that. But yeah, just the kind of like spontaneity of it and like how creative these deaths were. It's like, bruh, it's almost like, are you serious? For real? This movie was fine. It was fun to watch, but I wasn't expecting some kind of like masterpiece or something. And to find out that there's like 5 of these suckers, maybe more, it's like, bro, like, did you really need all those movies? That movie can go kick rocks. I'm not going to talk about it, only because I didn't finish it, but I watched half of Final Destination 2. Fuck that movie too. Bitches. The next movie that I saw was Ghost in the Shell, the 1995 version. It found a voice. Now it needs a body. In the year 2029, the barriers of our world have been broken down by the net and by cybernetics, but this brings new vulnerability to humans in the form of brain hacking. When a highly wanted hacker known as the Puppet Master begins involving them in politics, Section 9, a group of cybernetically enhanced cops, are called in to investigate and stop the Puppet Master. I have never seen this movie before, and I remember I grew up with a lot of cousins who were like super into anime, Dragon Ball Z, Akira, Neon Genesis, and Ghost in the Shell, and all of that. I got a touch of all of that except for Ghost in the Shell. So I saw it, and holy hell, this movie is so complicated, it's so layered, it's so philosophical. All of this whole movie is about like what makes human, what makes you, and how does you compare to everybody else, and why is a robot different from you. It's so insane. It's heavy. You won't get it the first watch, maybe. And it's also incredibly beautiful to look at. Holy hell, this movie was so good. I saw it twice because I was like, maybe I missed something, but I want more of this. This movie was crazy. I don't even know what else to talk about. Holy hell, this felt like I remembered something not in Eureka way, but when you remember what it felt like to be in 2002 and how the carpet felt. What the hell is this guy talking about? a quiet reminder that you existed and were conscious all those years ago. And then again, do you think that's not how Motoko felt when she was rising through the sea? When she ripped that cover off of the tank? That feeling of remembering that you existed? Man, this whole thing was a trip to watch the quietness during battles. Oh, I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about in my review. That's how crazy this movie was. It's not crazy as an action-packed thing. Well, it is action-packed, but it's crazy like the way your mind kind of starts to think about like your consciousness and what the difference between human consciousness and artificial intelligence consciousness. Damn, put me on Scrabble. I won. This movie was insane. I got too deep in the sauce in that one. The last movie that I saw in July was The Secret Name. Turns out Nicole did not see this movie and didn't know what I was talking about. So we watched it together, and just like how I thought, she loved this movie. She loved the whimsical aspect of this, the quiet watercolored sparkles of everything, just the fantasy, the perspective of being a little mouse in a very nature kind of like you know how like when you look at birdhouses and you look at the like super cute ones, the ones that are like really decorated, and you're like, wow, I wish I could live there. Or when you look at like cartoon pheasants houses, like the way the grass kind of like forms that like circle shape, and like the way little flowers sprout in front is like some kind of doorway, and just the kind of whimsical and cute nature of being small in Mother Nature and like that kind of nature. Doc, shut up. All of that stuff is within Nicole's vibe and aesthetic. So I knew exactly she was gonna like this movie. I like that movie a lot. I remember breaking down the owl scene with her, and I was like, dude, look at this. You see that light? You see like the way it just casted a shadow? Who would do that in a cartoon? Motherfuckers in 1970s, 80s maybe. This movie's really good. You know, it's not like the best, like amazing story or whatnot, but it just looks visually amazing. Like when you think about backdrops, like those like Tom and Jerry backdrops, those are nice. But these ones in The Secret of Nim, top notch. Beautiful. That is the end of July. I will get this video as soon as possible, and I am kind of over my hunch now, and I can kind of steamroll through this stuff now. I am just super grateful that you guys are patient enough. I'm talking to no one, but these videos will come out whenever they come out. I just hope that I'm not wasting anybody's time. I think that's it for everything. My name is Elvis. You're watching Joan of Our House, and you're on this journey with me to watch 365 movies in 365 days. Wish me the luck. Wish me all of your luck. Pray for me, I guess. Recommend me a movie. Recommend me a song, an album, your favorite painting. I don't know, socials. I'll see you guys next week. See you later. Bye. Biggity weight strong. Biggity weight strong. Dude, the song is very good.